translating.
You know, in any other circumstance, I think the draw yesterday with the Columbus Crew, where the Columbus goalie Will Hesmer scored a goal in injury time. Yes, the goalie scored in injury time, people, to tie the game. In any other circumstance, I think it would have almost been funny, the way that game and the way that Toronto FC's home regular season schedule ended up against the Columbus Crew yesterday. Don't really have a lot to say about the Crew. I think TFC deserved to win the game. The fact that they didn't, I think, is frankly, to a great extent, a real metaphor for how the season has actually gone. 4 things about the game I thought were quite impressive. John Conway not taking any crap at all, pushing Steven Lenhart, getting a red card for his troubles, of course, along with Lenhart, which saw Milos Kocic from the reserve team, from the Serbian White Eagles. I think he's been on loan for most of the season, come in and finish up the game. He really showed some leadership and some real fire in the belly on Saturday afternoon. I really liked how he did some fist pumps and applauded the fans on the way off the ground yesterday. I thought he showed some real leadership. Frankly, if Stefan Fry, who arguably might be one of our few trade / transfer fee commodities that Toronto FC has in this offseason as the new management team, whoever that's going to be, tries to rebuild the team. If we're stuck with John Conway being our number one goalie next year, I don't think it's a matter of being stuck. I think he would be a relatively able substitute. I like that Dan Gargan was given the armband yesterday. Dwayne De Rosario, of course, the quote-unquote captain of the club. And you know how I feel about Dwayne after the check rating fiasco a few weeks ago. Well, Dero was suspended. He couldn't play due to yellow card accumulation. So Gargan played as the captain yesterday. I think that was a very well-deserved reward for the leadership that a player on a league minimum salary has actually shown. I think he has been one of the real bargains for Toronto FC this season. Maicon Santos also scored a goal. And frankly, it was a goal of the year candidate as well. He took the ball inside the Columbus half, literally ran the ball from there up to about, I think, maybe 20 to 25 yards from where the Columbus net was. Passed about 3 players. And what does he do? He scores. An absolute goal of the year candidate, up there with the Jacob Peterson goal from earlier in the season as well. I really liked Nicholas Lindsay, especially yesterday. He really stood out for me. Great cross to Jacob Peterson again, who scored a nice, simple little tap-in goal for TFC's second. He frankly gave the Crew defenders, their fullbacks and wingers, fits going down the left side all day yesterday. And I'm talking to a friend last night at the pub after the game. I'm like, I could really see Lindsay on the left, and I could really see Chad Barrett down the right-hand side as our wingers next year. I wrote on the blog earlier in the summer that I think the one thing that's been missing for Toronto on the field and almost tactically since day one has been a lack of width. We really haven't had a true wing player. Lindsay, 17 years, yes, 17 years of age, yes, still very young, definitely gives us some hope for the future when it comes to actually what's going to happen in the years ahead. Now, I want to talk very quickly as well about the atmosphere at the stadium yesterday as well. I was a little surprised with the audience, with the crowd, I should say. It was a little more than I thought. I was actually kind of surprised that there was upwards of, I think, 15 or 16,000 people probably in the ground yesterday for what, in all intent and purposes, was really a meaningless game. The protests from the supporters groups, and again, whether you're with in a supporters group or not, whether you're with the protests or not, whether you're with the tactics or not that some of the supporters groups actually carried out, I think it's very safe to say that they were, for a large segment of the press, the story. yesterday at BMO Field. I think even casual fans right now are starting to learn how important the next few months are going to be for this team. And just take a look at the media today. You can go to the Red Patch Boys website, redpatchboys.ca, and in their public forum, they have a news section where they aggregate all of the media stories from online over the previous day. And I'll tell you, there was an absolute ton of stuff there from TFC. Just to give you an idea, there's a 2-page spread in the Toronto Star. Not so much about the game. The game was a sidebar. It was a 2-page spread about fan anger over tickets. There was a piece in the National Post, which doesn't even have a soccer section in its sports page. They had a big write-up about it. The Sports Network, TSN, on the Reporters show this morning, Steve Simmons, columnist with the Toronto Sun, who frankly doesn't care too much about soccer, actually had a big talk about it as well. National media has picked up on it, and even international media. The New York Times, the old gray lady from New York City, even had a piece about it in print and in online today, which I thought was absolutely unprecedented. In 2015. So here we are. We're going to be going into a period of time right now where Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, I think, finally is starting to grasp the scale and the scope of what they have to do to rebuild this team and to rebuild fan confidence, which frankly has been very, very deeply shaken over the past weeks and months. One thing in particular that really disturbed me yesterday, other than, of course, the bloody goal from Columbus, was the fact that there was a gentleman on the sidelines yesterday that I frankly think has no place anywhere in that stadium, and that's a gentleman by the name of Barry McLean. For those of you that don't know him, Barry McLean is an agent with a company called First Wave. He was Mo Johnston's agent. And at a couple of points on the schedule, he was also the agent of well over half of the players for Toronto FC. So there have been some conjectures and innuendos and rumors about the relationship between Barry and Mo, about perhaps it being a little too cozy, a little too incestuous, for want of a better term. And I think a lot of the scouting and player personnel decisions for Toronto FC have been left to Mo and to a lesser extent Barry McLean over the past 4 years. And again, after seeing where we are after 4 years, look where we are. Seeing him on the sidelines yesterday, Gareth Wheeler from the Toronto Sun reported that Barry had the run of the sidelines yesterday, was a really, really, really disturbing thing for me to hear. I don't think after his part in what's happened over the past few years, and I also don't think that due to any, frankly, help that we've gotten from Mr. McLean over the last 4 years, that he should have any part in any sort of consultation when it comes to TFC hiring a new director of soccer, a new general manager, a new scouting staff, a new coach, whatever the case may be. I don't think he has any semblance of respect to be involved in the future of Toronto FC, and I'm really hopeful that that was a one-shot deal. Hopefully he's persona non grata, just like Mo Johnston is persona non grata from September onwards. So that's it.